Hey, this is Pastor Mike coming to you from the backyard on this Memorial Day weekend. I hope you and your family are doing okay. Well, I know for me, when it comes to this pandemic, my hair is getting longer and my patience is getting shorter, and I suspect you may be in exactly that same position. Seems like we've been at this for quite a while, and at least there's some good news on the horizon. The state of North Carolina and other places seem to be moving toward a reopening posture, and everyone is trying to figure out how to do that. And we're trying to figure out how to do that too. Many of you have begun to ask questions about what will it mean for the church facility to reopen, when will that happen, and what will it look like. Well, first I want you to know that the session met just the other night, and we appointed a team to begin working on putting together a reopening plan. The session will likely approve that plan in mid-June, and we'll begin to implement it at that point. But we've asked a group of officers and leaders to sit down together and think through how to do both the legal thing, the right thing, in terms of reopening, and just as importantly, the wise and loving thing. What reflects God's wisdom for us as a church, and what reflects our love for God and each other. All those things need to be taken into consideration. Reopening the church will more than likely happen in a series of phases as we take stock of what we can do, what it'll mean to distance people, what it'll mean to make sure folks are comfortable in coming back in the building. And so an important part of reopening is also going to be listening to you. I suspect probably sometime in the next week you're going to be asked to take an online survey in which we're going to be asking you to share some feelings honestly and anonymously about your readiness to come back and do things in the church facility. We're a multi-generational church. Some of us are more susceptible to coronavirus problems, some are less susceptible. Some of us are younger, some of us are older, some of us have children, some of us don't. And so from whatever perspective we're coming from, it's going to be important to be honest about where we are so that we can come up with the best possible plan for reopening our facility. I think you will begin to see things gradually reopening at the beginning or toward the end of the month of June and beginning of July, and we will communicate those stages to you as they are developed. And please do know, we're all anxious to get back to doing some things the way we did them. I hope also, though, during this period, that maybe one of the things we have learned is that even if we're not in a church building, we're still very much the church. We are still very much God's people. We have to care for each other. We have to care for our neighbors. We have to grow in the faith. And we've learned that there are ways we can do that that don't require us to be sitting necessarily in one room together. And so as we think about ways of coming back, I hope that we won't forget the lessons that we have learned and are still learning about what it means to live as God's people in challenging times. Please know how grateful I am for you and your faithfulness to First Presbyterian Church. And as always, we stand ready to assist you. Please do know that the church office is open during normal hours, and you're welcome to drop by. We can even accommodate small group meetings at this point within the church with proper notice and with proper attention to the size or number of folks who are gathered. And of course, the pastors are always available to you. We're just a phone call away. So may God bless you in these days. May you be encouraged, and may you grow deep and wise and loving in your faith. Take care.